that was like 10 years of psychotherapy in one day. There's two ways to look at trauma. One is that bad things happen that shouldn't have. We've talked about those. But the other way to get traumatized is good things didn't happen that should have happened. The child needs that acceptance, that connection, that attunement. Our brain development requires it. Our emotional development demands it. And when we don't get it, not because the parents don't love us, but simply because of their own issues, we can also suffer that disconnection. So that's what I call developmental trauma in terms of therapy. That helps me understand what happened to me. And so that there's a reason for it. Not as if there's a reason for it, then it's no longer me. I'm not somebody to be ashamed of. I'm just somebody who developed along certain lines for some very good reasons. But it's not in my deepest character, and it's not who I am, and I don't have to be that way. That's a relief to know. It's also not that I'm genetically programmed, so I'm doomed to stay that way. You have to reconnect with the body. There are various body therapies. Then there is the traditional therapies like yoga. Now, yoga was not simply a physical modality when it first developed. Yoga actually means unity. So the very essence of yoga is to regain that unity, not just with ourselves, but also with the larger creation. And so yoga, when it's practiced in its intended way, I'm talking about intentional yoga with a meditative aspect to it. The one I learned is called inner engineering, having a deep experience and being able to transmit that experience to others and creating a practical system around it. So it's worked for me. Through a series of events, I became aware of the potential role of psychedelics in healing. They're another potent method. They're not for everybody, and I have to emphasize that whatever modality you choose of a psychedelic nature, you have to do it with adept practitioners with deep integrity and deep knowledge and experience. But in such hands and in such a context, it can be like a superhighway to self-awareness. It's not unusual for me to conduct a psychedelic session with somebody or a series of sessions and have them say, that was like 10 years of psychotherapy in one day. And I've had the same experience myself. Ayahuasca being a Peruvian or Amazonian vine that's made into a brew that has psychedelic properties. This plant that, as you say, manifests the mind, can show me both the ways in which I've closed off from myself and that I don't need to because the love is still there. What healing potential it has. Now, I wish I could say that after that experience I became a loving husband and a loving human being. I didn't. It's not that simple. And I sat in this tent with 50 other people. They played beautiful music and tears started flowing down my face. And these were not tears of sorrow, they were tears of joy. And I got in touch with such profound love that I had never consciously experienced before. And it wasn't love for anybody else in particular. It was just love.